Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Michigan School of Nursing 2023 commencement. My name is Ruth Zielinski. I'm a clinical professor and the midwifery graduate program lead at the School of Nursing, and it is my privilege to be serving as the MC of today's event. To begin our program, I would like to introduce the Dean of the University of Michigan School of Nursing, Dr. Patricia Hearn.
Thank you, Dr. Zielinski. Good afternoon, students, family members, friends, colleagues, and the graduating class of 2023. This is so truly your day, in which we are about to begin a ceremony that recognizes each one of you for your hard work and accomplishments. All of you have earned the place where you stand today as a Michigan nurse. I've learned over time as your dean that Michigan nurses are known and respected everywhere. With this commencement, you will become part of a great heritage, and never forget that. You are graduating from an 132-year-old nursing school from a great public university. You are part today of a graduating class of 319, and you will now join over 13,000 nurses graduated from this school, our alumni. As students, you joined your faculty and our clinical partners, Michigan Medicine, but many others, to change lives, and I know you saved lives every day. Every challenge to your goals, every moment of uncertainty, every test tells a tale of your character, your intelligence, and your compassion. You have learned, and you are ready. For you've chosen the right career at the right time. The pandemic and its aftermaths have shown us both the strengths and the shortfalls of our American healthcare system. It is true that as a country, we are the #1 spender on healthcare in the world. Yet we continue to rank at the bottom in the rich world countries for the outcomes of so many of our healthcare outcomes. It's nursing's job to lead a solution. As I say regularly, it is our job to reinvent what we know has to be healthcare in this country and also globally. And we are perfectly poised to do this. We are the 5th largest occupation in the country at 4.4 million registered nurses. In the National Gallup poll, which I suspect most of you have heard of, the American people have for over 26 years voted nurses as the most trusted of all professionals in our country. Year over year, nurses are the trusted ones. We are well educated, and we are on the front lines of every aspect of healthcare. So this is the work of our time. For our graduating seniors, I salute each one of you for having the vision to become a Michigan nurse. For our graduate students, I salute you for expanding your horizons as a clinical leader, as a researcher, or as a discoverer. All of you will always be part of our school. You will dare to be great, which is the motto of our school. You will seek to advance the public good, which is the key intent of our school. And you will always, always advance healthcare for all people of all kinds, colors, beliefs, classes, all people. Now know that we will want to hear about your accomplishments. We will want you to return here when you seek your next degree. And we will expect your support of those who will come behind you. I want to thank all of our community who will be playing key roles in our celebrations this afternoon. A special thanks to our student speakers, who I want you to know have practiced very hard to be able to convey and share their thoughts in a very limited amount of time. Graduates, through hours of extraordinary circumstances, you have earned a degree that signifies to your colleagues, your patients, and the public that you are the most highly accomplished nursing clinicians and scholars in the world. Welcome, and let's begin. Every year, students and faculty put forth nomination for the Teaching of the Year award in our school. It is a very, very big deal. This award for excellence in teaching is given in memory of May Edna Doyle, a distinguished 1938 graduate of our school. Today, we honor this year's awardee, a teacher who has well prepared each of her students to be a Michigan nurse. After a thorough and thoughtful review by our selection committee of many impressive nominations, they selected Clinical Assistant Professor Dr. Nadia Charania. Dr. Charania is a dedicated teacher and an expert clinician in behavioral health. In addition to her unwavering commitment to teaching and inspiring her students, as you can see, hallmarks of her teaching include establishing a safe learning environment, a therapeutic sense of self, flexibility in teaching materials to suit student circumstances, and a student-centric vision. Dr. Charania is seen as a leader in employing inclusive teaching technologies and strategies to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in her courses and programs across the School of Nursing. Always aiming to be an inspiration to her undergraduate students and aiding them in taking on the professional identity of nurses, Dr. Charania also supports doctoral education mentorship for both DNP and PhD students. Her skills in communication and presentation and her ability to stimulate and challenge the intellectual capacity of her students are reflected in this quote that I selected from a student. "I have never felt more included, encouraged, respect, and cared for in a class." Dr. Charania is truly a phenomenal professor and a facilitator of a conversation, a discussion, and critical thinking throughout the class. Truly, she is a gift to the University of Michigan. With that, I concur.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Class of 2023, it's time to hear from you. You have spent years working toward the degree that will be conferred upon you today, and so much of that time was spent together with your fellow classmates. You not only learned together, you learned from each other. What you take away from these shared experiences differentiates the class of 2023 from the hundreds that have come before you. Now, please join me in welcoming our first of 3 student speakers who have been chosen to speak on your behalf today. PhD student Florence Johnson.
I'd like to congratulate the class of 2023. As Dean Hearn said, This is our day. I am beyond excited for all of our accomplishments and would love to thank my family, my friends, and my faculty for their support through these rough 3 years. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm also excited about the possibility that awaits all of us at each level. We are the future of nursing, and we can be the change agents, and not only in clinical nursing, but nursing education. I'd like to share a little bit about myself so you can understand where I'm coming from and why I'm here today. I immigrated here from Nigeria when I was 10 years old. I attended a predominantly white middle school and high school. And on a daily basis, I experienced what I would later learn was racism. I was told that I spoke different. You speak so proper because I had an accent. Of course, I was speaking the Queen's English. I was told to go back to where I came from, and then I was called the N-word, which at the time I didn't really know what that meant. So fast forward to the 80s, I transferred to universities and ended up in Connecticut, where I was only 2 of Black students in my nursing program. Running late to a class, I ran into an auditorium probably bigger than this and went to the professor and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, I'm new here." And she, like my high school friends or non-friends, said to me, "Well, maybe you need to go back where you came from." That was my introduction to the first nursing class that I had. So, as I moved along, I continued to experience acts of racism, some of them not as overt as the ones that I just explained to you, but they became a source of motivation to achieve my goals in spite of the barriers that I experienced. Thank you. As I would say to my cohorts, I am the grandma of the group. I have 4 grandchildren, and 2 of them just got taken out for crying. Whose kids are those? So in 2020, I decided to leave my family in Connecticut and come to Michigan to be a student again, to pursue my desire, my heart, to research health disparities, especially looking at how we support Black caregivers who take care of people who live with dementia in the community. So I say this to you because we talk about disparities, but when you really drill it down, what is it about? It's about racism. Like Dean Hurton said, we all should be able to get the top level of care in healthcare, no matter where we come from, how much money we have, or who we know. So my hope and my challenge to my fellow graduates today is that we have the courage to speak out and point out racism when we see it. Because it doesn't only affect the person who's experiencing it, it affects everyone around them. So for us not to speak is injustice. As Martin Luther King said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And what matters more than people's health and health care? So our next stage of our nursing career starts today. So I congratulate everybody and thank you for letting me speak to you.
Thank you, Florence, for inspiring all of us to do better. Please help me welcome now MSN student Jenna Zinedine.
It's gonna be hard to top that one, but I'll give it a shot. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. My name is Jenna Zainuddin, and I'm here representing the master's students. As we celebrate the end of our nurse practitioning school journey, there are many reflections that came to me. A lot of us in this room decided to go back to school not as a calculated decision, but due to an opportunity that cannot go missed. A lot of us here decided to go back when the world's hope was at its lowest and being in the medical field was beyond stressful. For some crazy reason, during the pandemic, we opened up our computers, we searched up U of M's MSN programs, and we applied for this career. I asked myself why, but then I remember we're nurses and we sometimes choose to actively torture ourselves, but nonetheless, even with that reflection, I still was wondering, why would we voluntarily put ourselves through the struggles and hardship of higher education? I came to the conclusion that there are those out there that seek growth. They see education as a means to grow. They understood that putting themselves in uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable environments, only facilitates a means for greater growth. This growth is not only academic, but emotional and mental as well. There's an old Arabic proverb that my family taught me, shout out for them for taking out half the hall. But it goes, al-haraka baraka, which roughly translates to, movement is a blessing. During the pandemic, we didn't stop. We didn't run away. Instead, we kept moving forward. So before we leave here, if you allow me, I'd like to propose one more challenge, one more assignment, if you will. Continue seeking growth. Continue finding challenging situations. Don't run away from them. Apply for that job that you're not too sure you're qualified for. Push and work against a system that is unfortunately very broken. And find your purpose in the vast world of medicine. And the second you feel comfortable, the second you feel like you're losing your purpose, it's time to add something new. A quick story on purpose. There was a doctor who fled the oppressive Assad regime of Syria, where my family is originally from, and found safety in a neighboring country, Turkey. He was from the lucky few that made it out alive. He could have easily decided to make a new life for himself and go with the flow in the new system that he was in. He instead decided to constantly travel back and forth from Turkey to Syria to provide medical aid for those in need. Something motivated him every single day to risk his life. Something across that border held so much value to him, and that something was the humanistic purpose that he found. So find your humanistic purpose. That is our job. Don't fall into the trap of comfort, and don't fall into the trap of complacency. Living a purposeless life can unfortunately only be a recipe for disaster. So keep moving forward, keep growing, and most importantly, keep seeking improvement. I end with thanking from the bottom of my heart my parents, Mama and Baba, my siblings, my family, and my friends for being the absolute best support system I could have ever asked for. I also would be amiss if I didn't take a moment to thank our amazing professors who quite honestly bled this profession. I have rarely seen people with this level of passion, and that has without a doubt affected all of us students. You all made us feel seen and hopeful for our future. Finally, congratulations, class of 2023. Thank you for being such amazing classmates, and I wish you the best of luck and the best of purposes in your future. I look forward to working with you in this ever-growing profession. Congratulations, MSNs, and go Blue.
Shukran, Jenna, and Mabruk. Please help me now in welcoming our final student speaker, BSN student Rachel Ahn.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be standing here celebrating our accomplishments and graduation. We finally did it. And we really couldn't have done it without the help of everyone around us. Family and loved ones who continuously supported our dreams. I love you, Mom, Dad, and Elaine. Professors who always believed in us despite some questionable Kaplan exam percentiles. Hospital staff who watched us stutter through our first patients, but also watched us grow tremendously within a semester. Friends who were half willing and half forced to receive numerous free blood pressure checks. And there are so many more individuals who have helped us on our journey. We knew nursing school wouldn't be easy, but who imagined we would live through a pandemic? A question people frequently asked me during this time was, why do you want to be a nurse? It's a question we've all been asked often, and we all have such different answers. Some of us have had impactful experiences in healthcare, while others simply fell in love with making human connections. No matter what our reasonings are, I hope we can hold on to that initial passion as we navigate through our nursing careers. Another question I'm constantly asked is, why did you choose U of M? My home is in sunny California, and I despise the cold weather. But if given the choice to go back to any college, I would choose U of M again. Because first of all, who wouldn't want to go to back-to-back Big Ten championship university? And it was at U of M where I was given the opportunity to work with brilliant faculty to conduct research, thank you to Dr. Wilbur Lewis, where I worked with some of the most motivated individuals to operate the Student Nurses Association, where I met my closest friends who I traveled the world with. I love you, Sheen and Avery. And my wonderful roommate of 4 years, Hannah Park, who I not only physically share a room with, but who has also become my definition of home away from home. As we leave U of M to start our new journeys, I want to ask everyone a question this time. And once again, it's something we've been asked 100 times by now. What type of nurse do you want to be? Usually I reply with a pediatric nurse. But recently, I've been thinking about this question in a new light. Some of us want to work bedside, outpatient, perhaps even in business law or academia. No matter what type of nursing we choose, I hope we can all share a common vision in what type of nurses we hope to become. Let's be compassionate nurses who take the extra time to listen to our patients' concern during some of their toughest moments in life. Let's be nurses who advocate for our patients and be the voice for the voiceless population. Let's be curious nurses who go to completely foreign places and spark global change. Wherever we end up, let's not forget the type of nurses U of M has shaped us to become. Thank you, and go Blue.
Thank you, Rachel. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker for today's ceremony, retired Brigadier General Carol Ann Fasson. General Fasson, a UM School of Nursing alum, is Michigan's first ever woman brigadier general and is nationally recognized as a key supporter of women in the military. She is a decorated veteran with 36 years of combined active duty in the United States Air Force and Michigan Air National Guard, serving in nursing, administrative, and managerial roles. General Fasson earned her baccalaureate in nursing from the University of Michigan School of Nursing in 1975. She holds a Master's of Science in Administration and a Master of Science in Nursing, both from Madonna University. She's worked directly with the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Health Affairs, Force Health Protection and Readiness. General Fasson was also the Assistant Adjutant General of Veterans Affairs for the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, State of Michigan. She established the Veteran Advocate LLC, which is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business that assists veterans with health care, housing, and educational challenges. She also serves at Legal Help for Veterans, PLLC, to help veterans obtain health and disability benefits. In addition to her military career, General Fasson is a strong advocate for veterans, nurses, and for the U of M School of Nursing. Specifically, she served as the school's campaign committee chair during the Victors for Michigan Champions for All School of Nursing Capital Campaign, which ran from 2013 to 2018 and exceeded its original philanthropic goal. The Fasson Patient Suites within the U of M School of Nursing Clinical Learning Center, which I'm sure you have all been in several times, was named in honor of General Fasson and her husband, Jim. General Fasson's leadership, wise counsel, and philanthropic efforts have been invaluable to the success of U of M nursing. Now please join me in welcoming Brigadier General and University of Michigan School of Nursing alum Carol Ann Fasson.
Thank you very much. Dean Hearn, faculty and staff, family and friends of our graduates. Graduates, congratulations on this accomplishment. You are graduating from the University of Michigan School of Nursing. I want you to take a second, reflect today on this achievement, the challenges, the individuals and support groups surrounding you and supporting you to get you here today. So what is your next chapter? What is your dream? I want to tell you a little secret. When I graduated from the University of Michigan in 1975, my dream was to come back someday and be the Dean of Nursing. I guess that didn't happen. I already had been researching master's degree programs around the country. My desire was to come back here because there was that philosophy, you don't get all your degrees from the same university. But I had another desire, and that was to serve my country. That was the dream I fulfilled. I strongly believe that hands-on experience is extremely important as one climbs the ladder in any profession, but especially in nursing, to go from novice to expert. I started working a summer job in 1973 at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Youngstown, Ohio, as a ward clerk. You probably don't even know what that means. I haven't stopped working, and I realized the other day it's 50 years. But when I look back, things took different pathways. I had been an ER nurse, an oncology nurse, a nurse educator, a hospital administrator, and a director of nursing. But I am proudest of being on active duty with the United States Air Force and in the Michigan Air National Guard for 36 years. As you heard, I ended my military career with 2 overlapping assignments. From 2001 and 2005, I was the Assistant for Mobilization and Reserve Affairs for Health Affairs, Force Protection and Readiness in the Department of Defense at the Pentagon, representing our 1.2 million sailors, soldiers, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard. Then in 2003, I was selected to be the Assistant Adjutant General for Veterans Affairs in our state of Michigan. I had responsibility representing, then at the time, 900,000 veterans. As astronaut Sally Ride said, and I quote, "All adventures, especially in new territories, are scary," end of quote. My responsibilities have changed from being in charge of one patient to responsibility for the health care of thousands. The strength of an individual comes from his or her character, which adheres to those values. The Air Force core values: integrity, service before self, and excellence in all you do. Those values have been infused into me and have been a positive impact on my career and my life. If you focus on your values and adjust your actions to demonstrate integrity, selflessness, and excellence, you will succeed. Here are some thoughts on beginning your career. And I think you heard it from the excellent presentation from the students. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. One thing that I learned in the military is that you need to prepare yourself for the mission. It's ultimately your responsibility, whether it's to be physically fit mentally tough, or properly trained. When opportunity arrives in your career, be prepared and take advantage of it. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt said, and I quote, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do." End of quote. The military prepared me for diverse working conditions to push beyond temporary failures. You learn more from the mission, which overrides the differences, and you learn how to make the differences and the failures your strengths. Michigan's own President Gerald Ford said, and I quote, "Always demanding the best of oneself, living with honor, devoting one's talents and gifts to the benefits of others. These are the measures of success that endure when material things have passed away." End of quote. While a rank or a job will provide you with temporary leadership and honor, in order to have that real leadership among the troops, you have to walk the talk. You must work harder than you expect them to do that, and genuinely care about them, their well-beings, and as I've learned, their families. You must work harder to do it and to get it right and to earn their respect. I'd like to reflect a minute on nursing here at our School of Nursing with the We Dare branding that was implemented in 2020. That had so much meaning in my career, and I think even more for you. The core message of this branding gives our existing community every way to identify with nursing and believe in it. Daring comes in many forms. It takes risks, it challenges the status quo, and it pushes the boundary of what is possible. It's the calm in the face of adversity, perseverance through failure, and selflessness in the pursuit of excellence. At the School of Nursing, we dare every day, using your knowledge, your skills, the innovation, and compassion to advance the public good and prepare the nursing. You are going to reinvent healthcare, and I know you're already doing it. Who ever thought we would see a pandemic, this COVID-19, and see all the challenges and changes it has brought to nursing? You were the patient advocate, communicating with the families during this pandemic. Nursing is the first line of defense, always protecting and giving the patient and their family hope. You COVID-trained nurses are a unique breed, and nobody could ever take that away from you. Speak up for what is right. Always protect your patients. Nursing has the greatest impact, I believe, in the healthcare arena, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Please be aware that as in nursing, we are always adapting to the next patient, the disease, the next pandemic, the next technology, and the next treatment. To be a great nurse, I believe you need an open heart. So let me share with you some Fasson principles or pearls of what that means. Stay true to yourself. Be yourself. Be honest and consistent. Respect is earned, not gained. Take responsibility for your actions, even failures. Take care of your people. Know and accept the differences and uniqueness of every individual in your team. Recognize your people's performance. Thank your team. Stand up and fight for your troops. Be visible, plan and be organized. Make sure that when you go into a battle, you have all the facts. Communicate and share your ideas. Surround yourself with the best people. It's only going to make you better. Be a mentor and find a mentor. And keep a good balance in your life. Do not expect everything to occur overnight. Challenges will exist, but opportunities will come. My grandma was my role model for me, raising her son, my dad, as a widow. She was tough and fought what she knew was right. A widow, she was determined to send my dad to the University of Michigan. He's a graduate in 1949. She did it being a businesswoman. She owned a beer garden and owned a tavern in Youngstown, Ohio, right across from the steel mills, which operated 24/7. It was hard work, but honest work. Her challenges did not define her, but her love of family and hard work did. The secret of success and life is be ready when an opportunity comes. That willingness and ability to stick to it is your challenge. I've been sent into situations that seemed impossible. Fighting and crawling around in Texas for combat casualty course, chasing armadillos. But you apply and you do hard work and you assemble a team. And day by day, month by month, the job gets done with a sense of pride for your team. Do not let challenges become insurmountable. You have the power to do anything you want. Take hold of the future and make it your own future. You never know when you are going to divert from one of your dreams. As the mantra of my Michigan Wolverines states, those who stay will be champions. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, stay strong to your profession, your country, your community, and your family. At the end, you will proudly state, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. Congratulations, graduates of the School of Nursing 2023. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless the United States of America, and go blue!
Thank you, Brigadier General Fasson. Next, we will present our student who is earning her doctoral degree. It is always a major milestone when any degree is awarded. The doctoral degree is the highest degree that can be awarded. Its achievement is truly a major accomplishment. Today, we recognize this achievement by hooding those who have been granted a doctoral degree. Hooding is a tradition that dates back to the Middle Ages. By awarding this hood today, we welcome our doctoral student into the community of nurse scientists and scholars. Congratulations, we will now hood our 2023 PhD candidate. The student's PhD committee chair, Dr. Sharia Robinson Lane, who mentored her throughout her PhD education, will be hooding her, along with Dr. Sarah Stoddard, who is the director of the PhD program. Assistant Dean of Research and Scholarship at the University of Michigan School of Nursing, Dr. Robert Plaut-Snyder, will announce the student's name, dissertation title, and committee chairperson.
Florence Johnson. examining the relationship between community-based support services use and mental health in Black family caregivers of people living with dementia. Mentors Drs. Sharia Robinson Lane and Marjorie McCullough.
We will now begin hooding the Doctor of Nursing Practice candidates. Each student's committee chair who mentored them throughout their education will be hooding today's graduates, along with Dr. Elizabeth Duffy, who is the director of the Doctor of Nursing Practice program. Chief Health and Academic Equity Officer, Dr. Rushika Patil, will announce each graduate's name, scholarly project title, and committee chairperson.
Susan Ames, Medication Administration Best Practice, Dr. Raymond Blush. Sharon Chu, using step tracker guided weight loss interventions for reducing the symptom burden for the patients with atrial fibrillation. Dr. Raymond Blush. Abby Krager, the effects of online education on knowledge and self-efficacy of nurses in rural settings. Dr. Raymond Blush. Paige Schaff, improving detection of malnutrition in preoperative left ventricular assist device patients. Dr. Raymond Blush. Morgan Yeager, creating a nursing care bundle for obstructive sleep apnea within the inpatient setting. Dr. Raymond Blush. Brock Willett, impact of a wellness program on burnout. Dr. Raymond Blush. Elizabeth Burkhart, implementation of a patient education tool to improve the onboarding process for outpatient palliative care. Dr. Mary Franklin. Dallas Foley, improving the current standardized practice for pressure injury prevention in a metropolitan medical intensive care unit. Dr. Mary Franklin. Linnea Hill, Advanced Care Planning Quality Improvement Initiative. Dr. Mary Franklin. Sarah Kilpinen, implementation of pressure injury prevention practices in the adult neurosurgical intensive care population. Dr. Mary Franklin. Taylor Marsh, vaginal dilator use for vaginal stenosis prevention in women with gynecological malignancy following vaginal brachytherapy. Dr. Mary Franklin. Payal Patel, improving the patient referral process in an outpatient palliative care clinic, a quality improvement project. Dr. Mary Franklin. Daniel Vachon, limiting nurse staff exposure to hazardous waste, a quality improvement project. Dr. Mary Franklin. Joey Lever Burgum, physical activity and health promotion interventions to improve depression and loneliness in older adults through Hope Clinic. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Stacy Deer, creating a sick dismissal protocol at Marygrove Early Education Center, a policy analysis. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Emily Matea, adapting an acuity tool for a pediatric infusion center. Dr. Laura Goltikin. John Wen, evaluation of a clinical decision support system tool's feasibility, usability, and implementation for asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease in Michigan. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Lauren Nichols, clinical practice guideline for children with trisomy 18. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Jenna Palmer, early mobility in critically ill adults. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Nicole Ritchie, a mild head trauma protocol for anticoagulated patients with an initial negative head computerized tomography scan. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Eric Tasker, measuring pediatric nurse comfort with cardiac arrest medications using simulations. Dr. Laura Goltikin. Deja Scott, implementing provider education to improve prescription rates for low-dose aspirin in Black women at risk of preeclampsia, a quality improvement project. Dr. Lynette Jones. Savannah Smyrno, an implementation guide collecting patient-reported experiences measures in maternity care. Dr. Yasemin Kusunoki. Jacqueline Richardson, improving patient-provider communication regarding elective induction of labor through use of a shared decision-making tool. Dr. Yasemin Kusunoki. Jacob Yin, impact of restrictive policies on the mental health of transgender athletes. Dr. Yasemin Kusunoki. Irene Hsu, exploring policy options for clinical simulation in the Caribbean. Dr. Yasemin Kusunoki. Tracy Alam, the use of a digital communication tool during virtual interprofessional patient care conferences to improve provider collaboration and satisfaction. Dr. Heather Jones. Narcissa Atkinson, implementation strategy, evaluation of the revised interdisciplinary care planning tool to reduce the incidence of readmission of recurrent stroke. Dr. Michelle Abersold. Madeline Bekowski, the creation and use of simulation for the improvement of communication skills for clinicians with hospice patients and their families, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Jessica Baird, Technology Training Program among community-dwelling older adults to decrease social isolation and improve wellness, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Emily Brandt, Caregiver Support for Transgender or Gender Diverse Youth, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Valerie Grobel, the implementation of video education for the medication explanation and side effects on post-acute ischemic stroke patients in a neuroscience unit, a quality improvement project, Dr. Michelle Abersold. Laura Hames, Trauma-Informed Care, Caring for America's Veterans, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Lindsay Jacobs, College Night, Preparing Patients with Type 1 Diabetes for Success, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Lauren Judd, Educating Primary Care Clinicians on Adverse Childhood Experiences, an Evidence-Based Quality Improvement Project, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Savannah Kirk, an educational program for risk-taking behaviors in adolescents with type 1 diabetes, Dr. Michelle Pardee. Chantal Mutter, Improving Nursing Knowledge of Evidence-Based Criteria for Catheter-Associated Urinary Tract Infection Prevention, Dr. Deborah Price. Nicholas Straight, Staff Nurse Retention through Environmental Modifications, Dr. Barbara Medvec.
It is now time to recognize our Masters of Science in Nursing graduates. Associate Dean for Professional Graduate Studies, Dr. Lisa Kane-Lowe, will be announcing the students by program. I would like to invite the program leads to gather across the stage to congratulate your student as they process across the stage.
We're going to begin with the Acute Care Pediatric Nurse Practitioner Program. Jonathan Norton. Samantha Adams. Maria Frick. Laura Madeline Halprin. Lauren Ann Rannick. And now for an older population, our adult gerontology acute care nurse practitioner program students. Kristen Grace Domingo Veitag. Cassandra Lynn Porzandek. Vanessa Walker. Danielle Lynn Johnson. Carly Ford. Jalili. Anne Wu. Carolyn Rushko. Gabrielle Russell. Sarah Khalifa Al-Zayed. Rosa Yuslea. Aliyah Sarene. Yes, I practiced. Maria Ana Chisar. Julia Margaret McLean. Nina LePage. Danielle Ray Hess. Jessica Nicole Pratt. Karen J. Scott. Fairy Queen Enrique Sikirka. Paige Jones. Mary Roof. Courtney Marie Kraus. Natalie Ann Burke. Ashley Malinowski. Danielle Elise Smith. And now we're going to be moving to the Adult Gerontology Primary Care Nurse Practitioner Program. Our first student is Fahad Varian. Lucille Ann Schneider. Caroline Agnes Pale. Ami Patel. Margaret Natalie Hazlitt Beecher. Alexandra Rucklovitz. Elizabeth Aspen Hathaway. Lauren Perrin. Talar Takessian. Jennifer Lynn Griffith. LaShonda McLean. And now for our students in our Leadership, Analytics, and Innovation program. Our first student is Doug Goyes. Eliza Ramos. Amy Lynn Peacock. Heather Ruffin. Elizabeth Catherine Smagala. Ava Sundara. Kaylee Martin. Teresa Brodowski. Amy Carr. Colby Anderson. Melissa Ray Barrow. Mandy Pate, excuse me. Kimberly Sulto Hees. Amanda K. Braken Bragg. Matthew Edison Miron. Courtney Shannon Keating. Sandy Lemkin. And next is the nurse midwifery program, my heart. And our first student is Sydney Tyler. Okay. Rita Awuku. Janelle Hansen. Christine Ann Hayes. Anne Elizabeth Lindstrom. Alexandra Rose Rome. Megan Nelson. And one of our only students this year who's a combined midwifery, primary care, pediatric nurse practitioner overachiever, Chanel Michelle Lee Campbell. And now for our primary care family nurse practitioner program. Stephanie Fakri. Karen Rapundolo. Karen Johnson. Haley Barron. Alexandra Wolf. Angelica Sporer. Tamara Elisa Anthony. Pernesh Jashi. Samantha Rosso. Aaron Renshaw. Toya J. Richardson. Madeline Lee Brendan. Catherine Juntaten. Pelwasha Rama Saeed. Madeline Lynch. Lana Elizabeth Walker. Amanda Bone. Brianna Monday. Mallory Luke. Marina Monoyos. Jenna Zinedine. Got it. Ashley Farhat Tomaszewski. Jaylyn Marie Koning. Ashwa Almateitu. Tiffany Rose. Marisa Ann Polzanelli. Gabrielle Violet Watson. Megan Elizabeth Hendershot. Andrew Ka. Jazun Zhao. Sheil Patel. Shannon Brazak. Rachel Caroline Tanai. Lauren Niemer. Hala Kedu. Yasmin Mohammed. Michelle Hammy. And our last but not least program, our pediatric primary care program, Kolad Al-Hassan. Alexis Shemka. Catherine Chapa. Emily Marie Dudley.
University of Michigan School of Nursing, Bachelor of Nursing Science, class of 2023, please come forward to be recognized and receive your Michigan Nursing Pin. A nursing pin is a symbolic welcoming of newly graduated nurses into the nursing profession. Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies, Dr. Dana Chanin, will be announcing our graduates' names, and they will receive their pin from the Director of Undergraduate Studies, Dr. Penny Riley.
Caitlin Ann Jonason. Sophia Louise Choniak. Sarah Caroline Dickerson. Kurt Norman Seifert III, recipient of the Ellen H. Toporek Memorial Award. Emily June Layson. Zoe Catherine Clatterbuck. Grace Elizabeth Orlowski. Emily Anna Grunswig. Alexa Edson. Hannah Dyer. Jordan Kaylee McCaslin. Maria Murillo. Abigail Rose Roberts. Allison Stelling. Rachel Elise Ahn. Olivia Pritchard. Mia Beatrice Heffernan. Madison Ann Elliott. Christina Marie Scott. Josiah William Ratz. Emily Grace Roomstadt, the Judy M. Judd Alumni Award. Christina Walenzik. Ashley Chu. Lucas Binget. Allison Janae Smith. Anna Catherine Bieberstein. Lindsay Diane Brenton. Brittany Teixeira. Anna Michelle Schneider. Alyssa Catherine Check. Brittany Wynn. Kelly Cardillo. Donatella Leonora Rumi. Lauren Grace O'Donnell. Morgan May Gabrielle Taylor, Global Health minor. Hannah Locke. Madeline Macbeth, Global Health minor. Elizabeth Louise LeCarry. Alyssa Kelly. Fiona Chen, Global Health minor. Eleni Chen. Christine Lee. Catherine Yen. Kaylee Rogers. Allison Thorpe. Madison Catherine Kemp. Anna Shaflarski. Chelsea Guevara. Bianca Cobian Campos. Carmen Richardson. Rebecca Lynn Clark. Ella Jean Budd. Molly Reynolds. Toby Weber. Kayla Jacobson. Caroline Juliet Ferris, Global Health minor. Julia Elizabeth Jansen, Global Health minor. Sarah Ann Faruzi Chung. Maxim Molnar. Annan Wilson. Holly Amber Workema. Trinity Busker. Karina Alyssa Garcia. Linda Way. Abby Deng. Leah Liu, Global Health minor. Christina Choi, Global Health minor. Caitlin Ann Breff. Olivia Anastasia Britt. Catherine Rose Silverman. Megan Elise Overvoort. Josie Van Gampelaar. Taylor Alio. Isabel Hannah Goodrich. Morgan Margaret Cometti. Allie Vogelheim. Michaela Ann Gotsky. Elise Ann Gerardo. Mary Claire Shea. Isabella Shirley Kogan. Madeline Virginia Marin. Michaela Snyder. Mackenzie Schlanzer. Jillian Mirabili. Olivia Marie Simmons. Gabriella Seratano. Lauren Kanan. Emma Susan. Hannah O'Sullivan. Alexandria Marie Walk. Linda T. Kim. Jessica Lee. Vivian Feng Ping Chen. Lucas Wajaya, Global Health minor. Andy Chow. Michaela Rubin. Genevieve Kasi. Sandy Arena. Courtney Culp. Hannah Park. Avery Chi. Rebecca Roos. Grace Marie Donati. Mackenzie Munman. Nicole Pollock. Emily Hess. Christy Jacks. Coco Wang. Catherine Rose Ambrose. Katie O'Neill. Crystal Lynn. Olivia Figueroa. Ashlyn Marie Jerome. Kieran Elwood. Jolene Lucille Soriano. Tasnia Bint Hossein. Kelly Zonyu Shu, business minor. Yuanxing Fan. Liza Victoria Sabernito Sumayo, Global Health minor. Sarah Elansi. Amina Ali. Brandon Ray Westfall. Nathan James Mackey. Barrett Ethan Bagby. Neil Harrison Houts. James Creer. Benjamin Robert Ward. Catherine Tran. Shiyun Kim, the Honors Program Outstanding Project Award recipient. Belinda Huang, Global Health minor. Dara Jane Lynn. Sella Van Heest. Christina Wen. Olivia Snyder. Bridget Hauk. Caroline Emily Ditchick. Shannon Lambrecht. Emily Costelli. Sarah Isabella Klein. Grace Ella Lynch. Julia Catherine Mueller. Catherine Jean Bench, Global Health minor. Hannah Coons, recipient of the Jennifer S. Jocelyn Memorial Fund Award. Lauren Hokinson. Maria Graziella Victoria Muscat. Madeline Murphy. Madeline Hofacker. Jenna Ruth Patella. Karen Yesenia Sanchez. Adriana Junior Robbins. Nicholas Parker Tokars. Shauna Kathleen D. Olivia Carpenter. Georgia Elizabeth Chodas. Farhana Yasmin Chowdhury. Manal Jawani. Kayla Grace Williams. Katrina Marielle Corbien, Global Health minor. Haley Grace Hilgendorf. Winnie Chen. Ashley Grace Valtier. Dongju Lee. Peyton Lily Hankamp. Olivia Toomey. Summer Ahmed Toyuma. Maya Lynn Kafarani. Angie Garcia.
Now I want to ask every parent, spouse, friend, child, wasn't that worth it? So, at this point in time, I invite all the graduates of all the programs to stand. Hold that thought. Let's move our tassels from the right side to the left. Very good. You may be seated. Thank you. On behalf of the faculty, who I am always honored to represent, at the University of Michigan School of Nursing and the Board of Regents of the University of Michigan, I congratulate each of you on your graduation. You are the leaders and the best. Go Blue. We'd like to welcome all of you to join us at the Michigan League for a reception immediately following this. In the Michigan room, we've set up a photo area, specifically with a University of Michigan backdrop. A professional photographer is ready to capture photos of all of our BSN students being pinned, if that's what they would like. So please feel free to take advantage of that opportunity if you're able to do so. An additional photo backdrop is also available in the main ballroom for all students to take their pictures with their friends and families, hopefully here today. I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank all of you for your support of these fabulous nurses that are going to go forward and make everything we need in healthcare everything we want it to be. Please remain seated until all the students have processed out of the auditorium. As we close today's ceremonies, please join us in singing the victors, led by Dr. Dana Channon.